Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me online by going to Rumble, type in rumble.com/Mark Parham, and you should find me there. And then also you can find me on X by going to x.com/Mark Parham _, and I should pop up there. So, online you see a lot of complaints about CNN and MSNBC. A lot of people say, it's fake news, it's propaganda, and a lot of people have a good point. I mean, when you look at MSNBC and CNN, no matter what Donald Trump does, they always find some way to spin things and make him look like a bad guy. Like even with immigration, they'll sit up there and act like, oh my God, Trump is evil because he wants to deport illegal immigrants and he's breaking up families and all this other crazy stuff. And, the more and more I look at MSNBC and CNN, and some people call MSNBC MSDNC because it's almost like they do anything to help the Democrats. But anyway, when people look at those two news networks, you almost just see how they, find any way to, twist stories. And I'm not saying other networks don't do the same thing, but, some of this stuff is just like, it doesn't make sense. Like, they'll have Tom Homan on there. And Tom Homan's explaining things, and then they have a reporter trying to ask him these gotcha questions and trying to get him in trouble. It's almost to the point where, they are so focused on keeping Democrats in power that they trip over themselves. I remember back in the days when CNN was, sort of straight down the middle. Again, they would get on Republicans, they would get on Democrats. It really didn't matter back in the days. It didn't matter as much as now, where a lot of these networks, they almost they're so partisan. Even when Donald Trump was running against Kamala Harris, there were some things where Kamala Harris was just telling a blatant lie, and they would twist things around to make it seem like, Kamala Harris was being truthful and we did this and we did that. I mean, it gets me when they talk about saving democracy when, they're a part of the problem. These news networks, they just go out of their way to make up stuff. And I see why people like Donald Trump and even Elon Musk, I see why, they tell folks, that these news organizations are fake news. Even with the whole thing with Elon Musk, you saw how they made Elon Musk, they twist everything he's doing. If something's going right in his company, they'll find a way to, show an accident where a Tesla vehicle crashed into a wall or another car or something. Like, it's almost to the point where you can predict, how the reporters on CNN and MSNBC are going to cover something. And it's amazing to me that some of these folks, I was looking at Anderson Cooper where, they get good salaries. Like some of these, reporters and anchors make a lot of money, these talking heads. And they just, they don't even report the news. It's almost like just a bunch of propaganda. And I think a lot of people are waking up to it. I think a lot of people are saying to themselves, well, you know what, I get better news online from X or Rumble or YouTube than I do from the television. And so you say to yourself, why even pay, have a television bill or pay for cable when you don't even get anything that's truthful? I mean, a lot of these stories they put out on these news networks, when I go on X, they're debunked in 2.5 seconds. And so it's getting to the point where people are tired of it. They're waking up to, just the spin, all of these lies. The lies they're telling about Donald Trump. People are waking up and saying, you know what? They're choosing not to watch CNN and MSNBC. And if you look at what's happening now, the ratings have gone down. Before, it used to be where you would get all your news on CNN or one of these news networks because they were trusted. People do not trust the news media at all. I guess the people in news media are probably, rank maybe lower or close to, politicians that are in government. People don't trust a lot of these news anchors. They don't trust these mainstream channels, and I don't either. You get better news information. You get better information online from social media than you do television. And it's sort of sad if you think about it, because remember back in the days where they said, oh, well, everything that's going on social media, you can't trust it. In social media, one thing I can say about it is it's people on the ground who are actually there using their camera or whatever device they have, reporting real news on the ground, versus somebody who's an anchor telling you what's going on. Like look at Anderson Cooper, he's telling you what happened in an area, versus somebody who lives in that area taking out their iPhone and reporting the news for a fraction of the cost. It's amazing that their salaries are so high at these companies, these media companies. So anyway, this is just a question for anybody listening to this. And I know I'm rambling, but do you think the American government should ban CNN and MSNBC? Like if Donald Trump banned CNN and MSNBC, like how would you feel about it? Now, I have my own opinion about it. I'm all for free speech, but, I just want to hear your opinion. Like, do you think, would you feel a way if Trump said, you know what, these two news channels, these two television stations, are just harmful to the American people? How would you feel? So in the comment section, let me know how you feel about that. And then also follow me on Rumble and follow me on X. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can. Thank you.